Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack here on our 2019 GMC Acadia. If you're looking for a super lightweight, compact, and affordable platform rack, this would be a pretty good option for you. Now, it doesn't have some of the premium features like tilt-away or extra weight capacity that some other bike racks have, but if something compact but more stability than a hanging rack is what you're looking for, then you might be interested in this one. So we'll talk about those different specs and those different features, but we're going to focus on our Acadia here today. That way you can see how it works with the vehicle. The very first thing to talk about is if you want to access your hatch. As you can see here with the bike up on the rack, we won't be able to. So we would have to take the bike off. So let's talk about the way our bike is mounted to this rack then. So we have two wheel straps, one in the front and then in the back as well, holding down the bike. But then we also have this frame mount in the middle. And that frame mount is what I think makes this shine above the other bike racks in the same price category because of how versatile it is. Compared to the hooks that just come down and secure your bike by the top frame, this one can actually rotate 360 degrees. So you can move this up, down, left, right, and even around depending on your bike's different frame shapes. So when you want to take the bike off, you start at the wheel straps. So press the lever on the strap to disengage it and then pull it out. And then once that's out of the way, what I like to do is I just like to twist it a little bit so it's out of the way of our spokes. So that's the first strap, and here's the second strap. And now we have our frame mount. So same process where you press that lever and release the strap, but this time just try to hold on to your bike. I like to use my elbow to hold on to my bike, and that will be different for you depending on the shape of your frame. But once that is disengaged, you can then just twist or tilt it towards your vehicle and then move that mount out of the way. And now you can just go over that short mast and you're ready to hit the trails. So in terms of tire width, the maximum this can carry is up to 3 inches. You have this rubber pad on top to secure your bike's wheels. You can also move this strap back and forth for different wheelbases and up and down the wings as well. With the bike off, can we now open up our hatch? Well, let's see. So I'm going to press this button and you can see here how we do not have enough clearance. So what we are going to have to do is lower this mast. To do so, we have this knob here. You're just going to want to twist that knob just enough where it loosens, and then you can take off that anchor point. That's going to be that stand. Once that's loose, you just twist that anchor point away, tighten down on the knob, then you bring this entire mast down, and you have different options here depending on what's easier for you. You can use the mast strap itself to secure it to the rack, or you can use the wheel strap to secure it to the mast. So just pick one, and I recommend rotating so the straps aren't super pulled. So this has a 35-pound weight capacity, which is pretty normal for a affordable or entry-level platform rack. If you need a little more weight capacity, you may want to consider something like the Kuat Sherpa or the Rocky Mounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack that has a 60-pound weight capacity. But this is also a very compact rack. So with the mast down, we are now able to open up our hatch. So then we can now get into our trunk and grab whatever we need. So still a little bit of effort because you had to take off the bikes and lower the mast, but it's nice to see that it is an option. Now this is going to add a little bit of length to the back of your car. So let's take some measurements to see exactly how much. From the bumper to right where those nice white reflectors is, it sits at 24.5 inches, or just a little over 2 feet. So that's going to be pretty compact, very helpful when you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a really tight spot. Now another measurement to think about though is going to be ground clearance, and your Acadia has a lot of ground clearance actually. So when you measure at the end of the rack to the ground, it sits at 25.25 inches. When you measure at the end of the wings to the ground, that's 21 inches. But compare those measurements to the shank to the ground, and that's about 16 inches. So when your front goes up, your back goes down, and you want to make sure your bikes don't hit the ground. So we're not going to have to worry about that here. In fact, what we would actually have to worry about is just how high we have to lift our bikes up. With this having only a 35-pound weight capacity though, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But what if you're not planning out on going for a ride just yet, but you also don't want to take your bike rack off? What you can do is move this into the compact or portable position. I personally think you don't need to with it being so compact, but this is also going to be the way you can store it inside of your vehicle or in your garage. So first step is to take out the clip at the end, and then you rotate this knob, holding that hinge together. Once that knob is fully loose, you just let that hang there. As you lift up on the bike rack, you line up those holes, pop that threaded bolt as well as that knot right back in, and don't forget to tighten this down as much as you can and secure it with a clip. And just like that, this is in the portable or compact position. Let's take some measurements. The closest point is going to be pretty far away. So from the bumper to the bike rack, we have 5 inches of space there, so a lot of space. Next is going to be from the bumper to the space it adds, and that's going to be to this hinge. And that will be 12¼ inches, so a little over 1 foot. Definitely a good amount of space is saved within this upright position, helpful when you're driving around town. So this bike rack has an 1¼ inch shank with an included metal 2-inch hitch adapter. So that's why this can fit in right in our 2-inch hitch receiver on our Acadia. This has an anti-rattle bolt and a lock on the end. I use a 3/4 inch socket and a wrench to tighten down that bolt. If you don't have that tool, we have that here at eTrailer. You can get that added on just to keep inside of your trunk. But with that bolt tightened down, it secures the bike rack itself to the vehicle. So as I shake our bike rack back and forth, or even up and down, we have a really good and secure fit. I know some people, when they have those adapters, they're concerned about that movement, but you can see here, I'm moving the vehicle at this point. So my personal thoughts about the Hollywood Racks Destination 2 bike platform rack is if you're looking for something compact, this is definitely the way to go. You definitely have more stability with this rack compared to if you had a hanging style rack. Now the downside to this bike rack is since it has less weight capacity and it weighs less, then you can't carry your extra heavy electric bikes. So like I mentioned, a good alternative for that would be something like the Kuat Sherpa, which you can tilt away with your bikes on, or even the Rocky Mounts monorail if you want to be able to carry your extra heavy electric bikes. And that was a look at our Hollywood Racks Destination 2 bike platform rack on our 2019 GMC Acadia.